clock at 2. Durant's got to put it up. Gets it off in time. Off the mark. No good. Horford the rebound. Celtics have a timeout. Decide not to use it here. Brown the drive. Jaylen Brown kicks it out. Smart fakes. Inside. Tatum spins and he puts it in. Celtics go up by 1. They wave it off.
Let's look at the possession. He could very well elevate here. Realizes he has the time, is patient, gets into the seams, delivers the on-point pass to Tatum, and he gets it off in the nick of time.
And when you close there, it's easy to say, but you got to close under control. And Tatum finishes with 31 by mistake, saying waving it off. They were wanted to make sure that it came before it was so close to the final buzzer.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Double Dribble Podcast with Drew and Destin. I'm Drew. No, I'm not Drew. I'm Destin.
I'm Drew.
That's Drew. Drew, man, how you been liking these playoffs so far?
A lot of surprises, man. A lot of surprises. Nobody really knows what's going to happen this year, so very really interesting.
Though. It's been very interesting and very entertaining for sure. Like
right now, there's
I mean, it's kind of a little due to the fact that there's been like some injuries that makes everything a little more entertaining, but nonetheless, it's still very entertaining. And this game right here, we watching the Grizzlies and they just took the lead.
Minnesota been choking, yeah.
Minnesota
they were about 20. They were about 20 plus, and now
Minnesota, y'all better not.
They down. Oh.
Come on, D-Lo.
Wait, that was Tyus Jones that hit that three. He hit a three from the same spot earlier to tie the game, like the exact same spot.
Going to the line. Wow, they took the game away. All right, so we're gonna get into
on the Western Conference.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the Western Conference series. I want to start with in the West. I want to start with this Golden State and Denver series. In our previous episode, I think we made some predictions on that series. And
yeah, I
had Golden State in 5.
And I had
right now it's 2-0.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had Golden State in 6.
Golden State in 6.
Yeah, and it's looking like it might be a sweep. Who knows? But,
it could be a sweep because it's like
I think they're gonna get one at least. I think they're gonna get
one. They may get one. I don't want because Jokic he got swept last year. Well, it was in the second round, but he got swept last year. But
and being an MVP, getting swept, and doing it again shouldn't be MVP by the way. But they about to.
We'll see. Hopefully he don't. Hopefully he don't. I don't know. We'll see. But
I'm pretty sure they're gonna give it to him.
So far this series, man, it's been especially that second game. I was a little skeptical on the Warriors this series just because before it started, we didn't know how available Steph was going to be. Was he going to be there for game 1 or would it be by game 3 or 4? It just wasn't sure. But they've been bringing him off the bench. And this dude is like the best 6-man of all time. Like, it's crazy. In that second game, he went like dumb. And this Warriors team, it kind of reminds me of the pre-KD Warriors. Of course, you got your core three with Draymond, Steph, and Clay. You replace Harrison Barnes with Andrew Wiggins, which is kind of an upgrade. But the thing about this version of the Warriors, they have another guy who is ascending, who is just, I don't know. I got no words for him. But Jordan Poole, that dude been playing like a monster. And I was watching him in game 2 when he was going crazy, like shooting step backs, hitting crazy layups, making crazy passes. He's been great for them all season. And I was looking back, I'm like, man, I remember when Jordan Poole was sorry. Like he came in the league and like he was sorry. But and then he had to go to the G League and develop, and you can just see him like blossoming. He's only getting better, and he kind of reminds me of like Steph in a way. This way he like plays, like the way he like his joy for the game. But with that being said, I think this series may be over in 4 or 5 max.
No, it's a wrap.
Draymond is doing a pretty good. Yeah, Draymond. I was just saying, Draymond. He's doing a pretty good job on Jokic, but the others need to step up. They play tonight. If they lose tonight, then I think it's going to be a sweep. So, Golden State, they're looking scary again. So we'll see how they fare out.
No, yeah, I just didn't think they had a chance. Like without Murray, and it's too much of a test. I mean, they have to like at least get a game though in Denver. If he gets swept, it's just gonna look really bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
don't think the MVP. If he gets swept,
it doesn't. Obviously, it's not. It's a regular season award, but
yeah. But if you get swept, I think like that happens. But he gonna lose in the first round, and it's weird with an MVP like to lose in the first round. I can only think of a few on my hand. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, which is why normally over the years they haven't been given MVPs to teams that are this low ranked in the standings.
Yeah, and the only other time I can think
to players on
is Dirk, but he lost to an ace seed.
Yeah, and he was it made sense for him to get it though. Like they had the best record in the league. He was number 1 seed. Mm-hmm. He had a career.
That was unprecedented. But he lost to an ace seed. That was crazy.
Yeah, and they almost won 70 games that year. So
they won like 67 games.
Yeah, like I think it's 67.
They lost.
But I mean now like, but no, like it just like, it seems like he's gonna get it based on a lot of like the early reports and stuff like that.
Yeah,
what's going on this game?
And all the advanced stats and all that stuff. And he's played like an MVP. He's been great.
Yeah,
but
like when it comes to the stats, like if you like big on like advanced numbers and stuff like that, then he's killing in those stats. If you like a stat head or I feel like the media, like the writers, sports writers, love Jokic, and like former players, hoopers, people who just like watch the game, Embiid's their MVP.
They'll pick Embiid.
If you just watch the game, Embiid's your MVP. But if you look watching and if you like looking at a lot of stats and things like that, Jokic is probably your MVP.
And it's not to say that Jokic isn't like it isn't fun watching him play. It is.
No, of course.
Like
I don't think that you should get back-to-back MVPs. Neither year he was like close to the best record in the league or best record in this.
Well, last year he was
they were third though, right?
A 3 seed.
Yeah, he was a 3 seed, but
I think if you're a 3 seed, that's fair. I think that's okay.
No. That's fair, but even still though, it's like he's gonna get a back-to-back MVP and he's a 6 seed. It just seems weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Even though the Nuggets and the Sixers record is like really close, being a 6 seed, I don't think you should. Yeah, being a 6 seed, I don't
the record is
close. Should get it, but it's just me.
But yeah, I agree. The Warriors are they're out of there. It's a matter of whether it's going to be a sweep.
It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
It's a matter of when. Yeah.
Wow, Desmond Bain, they are 5 now. They took complete control of this game.
Dang, Pat Bear floundering now.
All right, so we're gonna move forward. We're gonna talk about the series I've watched the least.
Dallas and Utah.
Still very interesting. The storyline and Anthony Edwards 3. Sorry.
Damn, they falling apart.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this Dallas and Utah series. And
Dallas right now is up up by it's 37-24. They up on the Jazz.
37-24.
No
They
Luka.
should not. I
This
don't
is
know.
exactly what I was talking about, though. In our last episode, I was like, I swear, if Utah goes out and loses to a Luka-less Dallas Mavericks team, they are like that's literally inexcusable. It's just like
Completely
they
inexcusable.
lost last year to a Kawhi-less Clippers, which is still a good team, but that was embarrassing in and of itself as well.
Yeah, the
And
way
now
they
you're gonna
lost was
lose
kind
to-
of like embarrassing. But this one, because I mean, but
'cause they
the
choked
Clippers
it.
at least had like another star player
Yeah.
there. The what's his name? Jalen Brunson dropped 40 on them.
This man dropped a Luka's out, and they let this man drop a career high in the playoffs. But
Yeah, that's.
did you see that stat? It was like it would just kill me. Even though like Utah won that game, you said stat where it was like Rudy Gobert, he had like one field goal attempt in that first game.
Yeah, he shot the ball one time.
Yeah,
And
something's
like,
going on with that team. But
I remember we talked about this in our Contenders and Pretenders episode, and I said that when they get to the playoffs,
yeah, they
I think the main problem is it. I mean, it becomes their offense and their defense really, but some of that is on Gobert offensively. I want to say, but defensively, I don't think it's Gobert's fault because Utah's guards and wings consistently, maybe aside from Royce O'Neal, he's pretty good. Consistently get beat off the dribble. Like I cannot tell you how many times Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie were able to just get to the rim with ease. They'll either have a layup or Rudy Gobert, being the rim protector, his natural instinct is to come in and help. Maxi Kleber, what did he hit? How many threes Maxi Kleber hit? I don't know how many threes Maxi Kleber hit, but man, Rudy Gobert just he had to help because their defense was breaking down time and time again. Have no resistance on the perimeter. Just get in the paint, get in the paint, get in the paint. And they're trying to blame Rudy Gobert. Well, if you don't want Rudy Gobert to help, how about you try guarding your man? And it's not like they have somebody like super elite that's just continuing to break down the defense like Luka. Luka isn't there. And they almost lost game one.
They unleashed.
They lost game two, and right now they're down double digits at home.
They unleashed
So it's
all-star Jalen Brunson.
Man, and now they're saying Luka is coming back for game four.
Yeah, they said like very likely that he should be good to be able to play. That's gonna be crazy if they're up if it's a 2-1 Maverick series and Luka's coming back. Like what? Who would have thought like Luka's was gonna get out of the first round? He's not even really having to do anything right now.
Crazy.
And the Jazz, like I thought it was gonna be a series with Luka. I thought it was gonna be like maybe like a 6-7 game series. Now it's like, I mean, it's still too early to say, of course.
We both said TBD. If Luka was playing, I would have easily had the Jazz on like 6. I mean, the Mavs.
Yeah.
Like 6.
Without Luka, I had them winning in 5. I had Jazz winning in 5.
Dallas winning in 5.
No, I had without Luka, I had Jazz winning in 5. Without Luka.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but it was but I mean,
It's gonna go at least 5 now, but it ain't looking up right now for Utah. So I mean, where do they go?
Hopefully,
Like,
Luka's back for this next.
yeah,
game.
I mean, I guess we can talk about it if it happens, but if they lose this series, like where do they go from here?
Blow it up. They got to blow it up. I don't feel like Gobert's gonna be back. I feel like they're gonna keep. There's no way they're gonna let Mitchell go. They're gonna definitely give him like a max.
And I said this after they lost last year. I said, if somebody's taking up this much cap space and he isn't like a threat offensively, you kind of screwed. And best bet is to try to trade him, get ancillary pieces to make up that contract or make up what he's being paid now, and try to rebuild from there. once those contracts expire, then try to build around Donovan Mitchell. But him and Rudy Gobert is the core. Rudy Gobert is your super max, taking up that much cap space won't work.
No.
Because there's times, even being the great rim protector that he is, there's times that he can't be on the floor. And with how much
I feel like the
he
only
makes,
way it,
with how much he makes, you can't replace like adequate production because he consumes so much of your cap space for you to sign somebody to try
exactly.
to take over.
I feel like the only way it would
role.
work is if they had another guy like a wing, like a star wing to pair with those two.
Donovan Mitchell, or somebody that can play defense on the perimeter.
But with Gobert as your second best player, and not really a reliable threat offensively,
will work.
And then you're gonna have to, and then he's gonna eat up all your cap space. He's a great defender, and you're always gonna be able to win a lot of games with him in the regular season. But I swear, Minnesota, if they lose this.
Beverly been going at Morant all night. So the
he has some
next
nice little
series,
strips on him.
Next series we're gonna get into.
Oh, very interesting. This is probably the most interesting one right now at West.
Yeah, this is definitely the most interesting one, and that's the Suns and
the
Pelicans series. So that their first game, Suns handled their business. They were playing a defense. The only thing, Valanciunas closed the show up on the glass. Yeah, in the fourth quarter, Chris Paul, he took it over. That was vintage clutch Chris Paul. The Pelicans, they started to make a little comeback in the third. Chris Paul just kind of took it over from there. And game two, the Pelicans came out hard, ready to play. And the reason why the Suns were in that game in game two and were up actually at halftime because Devin Booker was going nuts. He had 31 in the first half. He hit about 5 threes. He was just unguardable.
He was going off.
And then he's going for a touchdown on a fast break. Hamstring gives out. And then the Pelicans, they end up winning the game. Shout out to Brandon Ingram. I'm so happy to see him in the playoffs. Baby Laker.
Best game of his career, honestly.
Yeah,
given the context, of course.
Yeah, especially given the context. Definitely the best game of his career. He almost had a triple-double. He was unguardable.
He was one rebound short. I think 1 assist short or 1 rebound short.
Yeah, I think it's an assist, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but he did it all. He rebounded. He passed. He scored inside, mid-range,
killing it in the mid-range,
outside.
Yep. He was answering too, the moments when they needed to stop that run because Phoenix was coming back and they needed an answer.
Giving them buckets.
He kept on delivering. Yep.
He was driving. He was hitting threes from the corner, pull-ups.
Dang, Minnesota going outside.
It was beautiful to watch. They're down 7. Wow. They gave the game away. Brooks guarded by Cat.
I want to know what that run was.
Step back three.
They were down.
Oh my God. So the injury to Book, that makes this series super interesting because I had I don't think we touched on it because the matchups wasn't set yet, but once it started, I had the Suns at 5. I just thought that they were just the best team in the league, the better overall team, and Pelicans they've been playing a lot better ever since they got CJ McCollum, but that team, the Suns, they were just a will-to-will machine. I just didn't think there was no way the Pelicans could win the series. Now
I
it's
agree.
tied 1-1 with Booker out. He's probably without. Well, they said 2 to 3 weeks, so he's out for the rest of the series.
Mm-hmm. Because it was
That-
it wasn't a. They said it was a mild hamstring strain, I think, right?
Mhm.
So like probably a grade 1.
So that makes
he's probably
this
going. It's going to put a lot
Man.
on. That's a lot more on Ayton. Ayton's going to have to step up, and Chris Paul, of course, is going to have to. He's gonna have to score a
Aiden,
lot
Chris
more.
Paul, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and they're going back to New Orleans. The fans going to be wild.
And they have a lot of confidence now. It's their first time being in the playoffs, really. They just won a game on the road. McCollum has played really well for them. I feel like he's going to have a nice
Shot the
game
ball
coming up.
very well.
Mm-hmm.
Valanciunas has been killing Aiden.
Yeah,
Killing
he's
him.
been outplaying him for sure.
On the boards. Oh my god! How many he had? Like the first one. Like I cannot believe Minnesota just gave his lead up. Wow.
What's the score now? Oh snap! They about to get blown out.
They went from wow.
They were up by 20 for they were up 20 just were they not up 20 this quarter? Or am I tripping? They were up almost 20 this quarter, right? Were they up 17 or something? Dang, it's a massive turnaround. But
Oh my god. I just blocked Malik Beasley. Oh my god.
dang, this is. Imagine if you went to this game, if you're a Minnesota fan, and this turn of events right here.
They was
Look at
the whole
do you see the fans walking out? They look sad as hell. Damn.
This is crazy.
I would be so sick. We were up by 20 the whole game, and y'all let this thing go like this. Like what?
This is pathetic. Anthony Edwards sold me. But yeah.
But yeah,
That Booker
so
injury.
that's pivotal. I mean,
how do you think? So he's out for the series. How do you think the rest of the series plays out?
so before initially I had Phoenix in 5. I had Pelicans winning 1.
Yeah.
This next game is so pivotal, but I'm gonna go with Phoenix in 6. I'm gonna still stick with Phoenix in 6. They've been so good this year. They've dealt with Booker missed some time this year. They played some games without him. I feel like Chris Paul's gonna bounce back. He had a bad game too. He didn't shoot the ball well. And they have really good depth. I feel like they're gonna get more production out of Mikal Bridges, out of their role players,
Cam Johnson.
out of Cam
They
Johnson.
need campaign step up.
Yeah.
Jay
Let him
Crowder.
step up. Yeah, but I do think that I don't think they're gonna I think they're gonna lose one of these games in New Orleans. I just don't see them getting both of them. So I think they're gonna split these two, and they're gonna go back to Phoenix. And then I just don't think that the Pelicans are gonna be able to sustain it. I feel like they're gonna have one of those, maybe Ingram or McCollum's gonna struggle. I feel like they're just gonna clamp up a little bit more on them defensively, and grind out another win. But if this thing is wide open now, the Pelicans could very well win this series if
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they're gonna win it.
I mean,
I think they're gonna take this series in 6.
it's very possible. What's funny
Now
is before you I just want to say remember the whole thing with last season with the Suns beating y'all, knocking the Lakers out,
Yep.
and then going into this year we had Devin Booker kind of talking about he was kind of talking a little bit of trash, all these Fs and Fs, and basically trying to say they would have beat the Lakers even if there wasn't any injuries.
Exactly.
Let's be honest.
So
we know that if the Lakers were healthy, they were in position to win that series.
They went against 3 teams that didn't have either their first or second best player. And when they went against the Lakers, AD got hurt, missed the remaining of what game 4 that was. He missed game 5 completely, and he started game 6. He only played like a couple minutes, couldn't go.
And then we know Jokic still didn't have Murray, and then
Jokic
of course
didn't
the
have
Clippers.
Murray.
Clippers no Kawhi.
Clippers didn't have Kawhi. One
Yeah,
time
they
they
got
played a healthy team, you got bucked by the Bucks.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, but
it's like some.
Props to them. They came back this season better than last.
They were great.
They were.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But now
it's like some basketball karma right here that's happening right now.
Yeah,
if they lose,
yeah. And I hate it for Booker, and I've hated even more for Chris Paul because it's probably like the second best team he was on. I think the best team he was on was with the Rockets that year in 18. And I think they both were like very much contenders.
I swear them hamstrings. Them hamstrings be
hamstrings, man.
They be coming up.
And now like I said, I got New Orleans winning this series now. I gotta see how this next game play out. I know they're gonna have Monty Williams gonna have a game to have some time to prepare for the next game, but without Book to prepare. But the best player in this series now is Brandon Ingram to me, and
he definitely
Mikal
has
Bridges.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges hasn't been able to do anything with him right now. Like he's like long and lanky, just like him. So it's like this isn't just some guard. Like you guard. And Brandon Ingram, he putting the league on notice. I can't believe Andrew Wiggins made the All-Star game over him, but that is what it is. But yeah, it's just it's gonna be interesting to see. But right now, I got the Pelicans winning this series. Now,
how many games do you think it's going?
I think it's going to 6.
Pelicans is 6.
I just think
so you probably have them taking both these next games. Then I'm guessing. I mean, they can go either.
They're probably gonna take these next 2, and I just believe that even though like their record, what they like 36 and 46 or something like that, they're like 10 games below 500. I don't think they aren't a regular 8 seed. Because
they're better than that because that McCollum trade as well. They've been so much better since that trade. And that
McCollum trade.
When they
who else was key in that McCollum trade? Who's been key so far this series? Larry Nance. He's been playing great for them. Like rebounding the ball. No, when they play small, he was killing JaVale McGee and Aiden as well. And when they had Brandon Ingram, like they lost so many games. I mean, when they didn't have Brandon Ingram,
he was great in that playing game. I remember Nance. He was huge. In that playing game.
Yeah, against the Clippers. Yeah, he was huge. So now this series been it turned, and so that's my pick. They lost their best player. It's gonna be hard to kind of replace that, but we see. I think the Suns can win the series. I'm not giving them a chance. I think they still can win. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. But right now, I'm switching my pick over to the Pelicans and shit.
Yeah, I can see that happening. I'm just going on the air like I just feel like Chris Paul is going to have a really big game coming up. I don't know if it's going to be this game 3, but I feel like they're going to at least split these 2 and get back home court advantage. I got to see it from Ingram. This is his first playoffs. He had a really big game too. I got to see him show me he can do this consistently, and I just don't know if I'm ready to believe it yet. He is a really good player. He's been an all-star, but I got to see can he do if he duplicates that performance in game 3. If he comes out there and he's like he drops 30, goes crazy again, they win. Then I'm like, okay, we talking. But I guess I just got to see him do it, and I don't know if I'm ready to trust it yet.
That's true. I understand.
But yeah, so I'm still going with the Suns, but Suns in 6 this time. I mean, it's currently. But yeah, that Booker injury, it's just playoffs are going to be flipped around right now. It's craziness. But
real quick, they just said Jalen Brunson just got hurt.
Oh my God! What?
Yep.
I know he didn't just get hurt, and they up double digits too. Oh,
Jalen Brunson
what?
holding his lower back, walking gingerly, headed to the locker room after being called for a technical foul en route.
Hopefully
he got hit in the back. What was this?
And he got ticked up?
Yeah, he got hit in the back. He got ticked up, and he had to walk to the locker room.
Dang, you get hurt, and you get a tech, and you leave in the game.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Boom.
So, next series in the West, we're going to touch on this game we just finished watching. The Timberwolves were up 26. They let the Grizzlies come back, cut it to 7?
And then they brought it back up to 20 again.
They brought it back up to 20 plus. And I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, they lost the lead. They got it back. That happened.
Yeah, to start that game, too, Timberwolves came out with a bunch of energy. Pat Bev was out here picking people's pockets. He was dunking.
Yep.
Did you see that play where he did the little, threw it off the backboard?
Yeah.
And
laid up. He was going.
I was like, what's going on?
Right at Ja. I was like, oh, dang,
I thought for sure they were going to run away with this, because when you have Pat Bev doing this much on offense, it was just looking like one of those games, one of those nice, snap, but
and Karl Anthony Towns was a complete no-show. He's supposed to be your best player. This dude had 8 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist,
which is almost a repeat of that playing game that they actually won. But I don't know what's been going on with that.
The Clippers clipped, so that kind of helped them out. But dog, I don't know. Your home game, your playoff opener at home. You up 26. They come back. You go up 20 plus again. They come back and win by almost double digits. Man,
this is a little bit of this is something that was an ongoing thing with Cat that I've seen now. This is only his second playoffs, but you remember that first playoffs when they played against the Rockets? He got outplayed thoroughly by Clint Capella. Yeah, I think he had one good game in that series where he outplayed Capella, and they won that game. But he had a lot of games looking close to this level. Where is he at? What's going on? And I think that's it's something I kind of always question about him, his impact. He has some big games. He'll put up some good stats in the regular season. He's a great shooter, but stuff like this, what is this?
He's
definitely not. He's definitely not the leader of this team. He's the best player, at least as far as overall skill set. But I wouldn't be surprised if Anthony Edwards becomes a better player than him.
Not at all. I don't even think he's the leader is probably
Pat
Beverly, D'Angelo Russell,
which is funny because Pat Bev is nowhere even close to their third best player, probably. Not
at all.
But he's the leader.
But
and that's kind of a problem to me.
There's some players I want to highlight from Minnesota side. D'Lo, he finally stepped up this series. Vando, he got some big boards, especially when Cat was hurt. He was getting to the line, grabbing some big rebounds for them. But man, Desmond Bane went crazy, and they came back. They just started shutting them down on defense. Minnesota was young. They young. I guess they play so much ISO ball. They need to move the ball around, do something better. They just was stuck, and the Grizzlies just kept getting stop after stop after stop after stop. They was chipping away. Ja was getting to the line. Only thing with watching Ja, he needs to stay off the ground. Every time he drives, he always ends up on the floor. And I mean, he's young right now. He can bounce right back up, but eventually, the ground don't give. And
yeah, we've seen it before. We remember who.
Quite a few people. I don't want to wish that on him, but But he really stepped up the second half. He was everywhere. He only had 16 points, but he had 10 assists, 10 rebounds. Desmond Bain was going crazy, and Dylan Brooks hit the dagger. Step back three on Cat. I think this next game for Minnesota is a must win because
they
don't win this next game at home.
Yeah, they lose both games at home, and Memphis needed this as well. Like it would have been a bad look. Like you've been this good all regular season.
Yeah, people they gonna start calling them frauds and.
Now, I'm be honest. I did say that they're a pretender, and I still do believe Memphis is a pretender. But I did not think they were going to lose this series. Now, if they do get out of this series, I'm still not picking. I'm still like probably going to pick against them. Like if they win this series, they're going to be playing 3-6. So
Golden
State. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be a really good matchup, but
for sure,
yeah. I just don't trust.
Golden State.
We've seen it.
They probably got a chip on their shoulder from last year because Memphis beat them to get into
knocked them off. Yep.
To get the AC last year. So that's going to be a very interesting series if both teams were to make it out. We both expect them to, but we'll see.
I mean, the series is not over yet. Minnesota still could tie it up 2-2. But like this loss is a very deflating loss. This could be a loss that like carries over. And the way Cat played, like there's gonna be a lot of pressure on him to show up in Game 4 and make up for this because you had your first game at home. Y'all 1-1. You going home, and you drop 8 points,
5 rebounds,
and like what?
And almost foul out. He plays so
inexcusable.
He plays so
he makes silly mistakes. Yeah. Did you see Did you see that fourth foul he got? I was like, it was like
it was a charge.
Like, what are you doing? Yeah,
was it a charge?
No, it wasn't a charge. It was like a loose ball foul, like on a rebound.
Oh,
it was like on a rebound. He like knocked over Ja, but it was just really awkward. Like he just like fell into him.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about that guy, man.
But yeah. But now, like
he needs to step it up.
I'm gonna be watching that game. I'm gonna be watching to see how he performs because that's yeah.
Dallas is up 17. At halftime.
I wonder if Jalen Brunson's still out. Oh, it's halftime. So he definitely not.
Donovan Mitchell, 4 points.
This is tragic. Y'all getting clapped with no Luka. Who's even Jalen got 15. Maxi cooking him again from 3.
Josh Green too.
And y'all at home, like y'all in Utah too. We're gonna be looking at Ja like we're looking at Cat. if you don't step up in the second half.
You said Ja? Oh, you mean Devin Booker?
I mean not Ja. I'm tripping. Donovan Mitchell. We're gonna be looking at Donovan. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, we're gonna be looking at Donovan like we're looking at Cat because this man only got 4 points at halftime.
The most hilarious thing watching the Warriors when Draymond hits a 3, this dude goes ballistic. While they booing the Jazz.
They should be getting booed.
Yep.
Yeah, we in Minnesota now. Like I said after the media, all right, cool, we got to come back to our house now. I only seen them at their house. Vando! Van! Go, Vando.
All right, that was funny. All right, so we're gonna get right back into it.
He played himself. How he was mic'd up in this game too. This man was mic'd up, had dropped 8 points, and he knows that he was talking trash. Like when you say stuff like that, you mic'd up, you know it's gonna be recorded. It's gonna be on the broadcast. You cannot go out there and drop 8 points.
That man, I don't know, bro. Well, we're
He
gonna
gonna
get
roasted
into
for that
the
for a while.
Eastern Conference side of the bracket. We can start with the Miami and Atlanta series. I don't think we didn't pick on camera about this series because it was still kind of like undecided who was going to play. But I actually had Miami in 5 this series. I just think that Atlanta defense sucks, and Miami defense is going to just make everybody but Trae Young beat you. And I don't think Atlanta's going to be able to do that this year. And Miami has
Atlanta,
Vince.
they had a chance. They had a chance in game 2, but
they did have a chance.
Trey didn't. Trey
game.
played like straight garbage, and Bogdanovich almost saved them. But
Trey, he was better than the first game for sure. First game he had like 8 points. Last game I think he had about
but he had like 10 turnovers or something.
But he was
right?
turning the ball over so much, and that's Miami's defense. That's what Miami's defense is supposed to be, and they've been giving Trey work on that end, making him work everything.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler was going crazy. Getting like a lot of times he got switched onto him, and he just like blew by him to the rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think that was a career high from Jimmy too, right? I don't think he's.
No, he's hit playoff career high.
He had 50 before. Did he
in the game? With the Bulls, he
probably had
50.
Yeah, you're right. But not like 45.
And Bogdanovich, he stepped up big time in that fourth quarter. He had like 19, kept him around, gave him a chance.
I think to me, they should have some of those shots that traded on the stretch. That should have been going to Bogdanovich because Bogdanovich was hitting like he was on fire. He was hitting some ridiculous shots, and I feel like they like Trey kind of forced them up when they should have went back to him because he was just like money. He was hitting like step backs and like turn around 3-point shots and stuff. So it's like, but anyways, it's going back to Atlanta. I think that I agree with you. I think they're gonna get at least one in Atlanta. I think we haven't seen that Trae Young game. I think he's gonna have that game in Atlanta coming up. He better have it. Otherwise, they're getting swept. But yeah, I think that he's gonna have like the 35 to 40 point night coming up, and they're gonna steal one. But no Clint Capella is still a huge loss for them. He hasn't been that great this year, but he started playing a lot better the second half of the season.
Yeah, and especially in that play-in game versus Charlotte, he was key. But he got hurt.
This man injured him. Unfortunately, he injured himself in one of the most hilarious. But I'm glad it's not too serious an injury. But it was a hilarious injury. I'm sorry. I mean, it's hilarious now that it's not serious. Mm-hmm. This man injured himself.
It was his fault because he kind of like pulled Evan Mobley.
It was insult to injury for real. It literally was insult to injury. Like this man, he committed a flagrant. They called a flagrant on him. He threw down Evan Mobley, and then he threw him onto his own shit.
On his own leg. That's what you get. So it's like,
and now he out. He out for pretty much the season. So that's ultimate fail right there. Flagrant, and you knock yourself out for the season.
Yeah, but
yeah,
I just feel like Miami they too much. This series goes 5 max. I got 4. I'm calling it a sweep.
Okay,
but we'll see how it goes.
So next series out east, Philly, Toronto. This series is like they already somehow played 3 games already. Like they just been pumping these games out for them.
Super fast.
Yeah. This is pretty much curtains. Ain't nobody ever come back from 3-0. They without Scotty Barnes, who got hurt. Pascal, he's showing he looking like Pascal again.
Yeah.
But that was always a question mark for me. That's why I was saying I think we both had I know you had Philly in 7, I had Philly in 6. Mm-hmm. But I felt like this is one of those ones that it could be Philly in 6, but I felt like it could also be Philly in 5. I didn't think it was going to be a sweep. It's looking like it's going to be a sweep now. But I thought it could be Philly in 5 because I just didn't trust Pascal. and I knew that him being their best player, he was going to have to be reliable for them, like each game if he was going to have to show up. And he hasn't been terrible. He's actually had like some decent stat lines, but if you watch the
last
actual
game,
games
he was terrible. Game one, he was solid. Game one,
yeah. Van Fleet, like he started really good in game one, and then he actually started really good last game. But this man started just throwing up terrible shots.
Yeah,
in the second half of that last game, he was like it was like a 1 point game. I think they were up by 1, and this man was taking like step back threes like from like 30 feet.
Yeah,
just like
that's the thing with him. I don't know why. And I thought game 2 got away from them. They started to make silly mistakes. I thought Philly, they got a good whistle, and then they started to get their rhythm going. And Tyrese Maxey, he stepped up once again. Tobias Harris, he stepped up once again. And they kind of took that game over.
I'd say that's probably been the biggest surprise for me because you already know I've been watching a ton of Philly, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that's been since Harden got there, Tobias Harris has been extremely inconsistent, more inconsistent than he already was before Harden got there. Like you just don't know what you're gonna get from him. Like there'd be nights where he don't even give you double figure scoring. But like I would say, like probably like last couple weeks of the regular season, he started to kind of like figure it out. Like one of the things I think he was doing when Harden first got there is he didn't get used to just catching and shooting. His game is like he likes to get like do his little mid little post fadeaway turnaround shots, and he loves to like
sometimes
catch the ball.
He'll get it on like pin downs, like he'll cut to the
But when he catches the 3-point line, there were so many times where he catch it and he just gotta put the dribble down.
Yeah,
he have an open look, and he still got a dribble.
He hesitates. I remember it was a mic'd up thing one time, and Harden told him just shoot it.
Yeah, and now he's been doing that, and like he's been hitting in the playoffs. He's been getting in the lane, and he's been playing really good defense, which has been surprising to me because he has not been really known as being like a defender like that. But he's been playing really good D. He's been rebounding. I think he had like double-digit rebounds a couple of these games, and his defense on Siakam has been good. It's been mostly him and Embiid that have been guarding Siakam.
Yeah,
and he's been like if he's gonna play like that, then I think that it really changes like what they could do, like how far they can go. If he's gonna play the way that he's been playing.
Agreed. It was a few factors that I thought was gonna affect them and have this series go 7.
Yeah. And it hasn't really mattered. Yeah.
And that was Steibel not being able to play in Canada.
Harden not being Harden.
Being Harden, which still kind of the same. Even though Harden has still been good, he's been kind of like a game manager.
Yeah, the way I've been saying that, watching it to me, he's basically been low key playing like Chris Paul.
Low key,
that's how he's been playing.
Low key,
he's been playing like Chris Paul. Only 3-pointers instead of mid range.
Yeah,
but he's been playing like a very methodical.
But he's been efficient from the 3
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Last game when he fouled out, I got kind of nervous. Especially when
to me, that first game, like that first game was his performance was underrated in that game. Like he didn't shoot the ball well. I think he was like 6 for 16 or 6 for 17, something like that. But if you watch that game, they were blowing him out from the jump, and he had 14 assists, 1 turnover.
Yep.
And a lot of people didn't repeat this. They tied the playoff record for fewest turnovers in NBA history in a playoff game. They had 3 turnovers as a team.
Wow.
They had 3 turnovers as a team, and Harden had 14 assists and 1 turnover. And if you watch, he was kicking out to Max, he was hitting Tobias. But the big point in that game to me was they went up, and then third quarter, Toronto had like a 12-0 run, and they cut it to like 11, and it was looking like, oh no, like this, they might blow this lead or whatever. And then Harden, I remember he hit a step back 3. Hit a layup in the lane, and then he hit this bounce pass to Maxey. That
beautiful bounce pass.
And then they immediately that blew the game wide open again, and then the Raptors could never get back in it.
Yeah,
that's like game 2. Yeah.
I was just saying that finish by Maxey was crazy, but that pass was
ridiculous. Yeah. So no, like that to me was like I think that was his best performance so far. This last game he actually was very efficient. He didn't take a lot of shots again though. He hasn't been taking a lot of shots, which I think he's been doing on purpose, trying to like getting dudes involved. But a part of it, like he is just not been able to get by dudes.
Yeah,
He does like it's clear that since he's had the hamstring, he does not have that explosion. He doesn't have it consistently just to like take dudes off the dribble. Like the one time, like he was getting dudes off the dribble, because he did get in the paint and he was finishing this last game, but it was on switches. He was getting switched on to like Van Vliet, and then he was taking like the smaller defender off.
But I think it was like really towards the end he had a switch and he took Gary Trent to the rim, and I think he kind of baited Gary Trent a little bit into fouling him, but he got the foul and then he missed one of the free throws, and then on the other end he fouled out. But good for Philly, Precious Achiuwa missed both free throws.
Yeah, this man.
And
I couldn't believe he missed both of those.
And I was like, man, this dude named Precious. I'll text my group chat. I'm like, man, this dude named Precious. I'm not going to rely on free throws. But
then we know what happened.
Shout out to JoJo. He in the first game he wasn't really great. He was good on the glass, but he wasn't that great. They still won. But games 2 and 3, he was a monster. Last game, especially in the second half, he was a beast. And then that shot he had at the end, that was redemption from the time when he faced the Raptors in 2019. Kawhi hit that shot. He didn't play great in Game 7. He didn't play good in Game 7, really. Well, he was all right.
No, he had a couple of bad games in that series. I'm in a series where he had like 1 point or 0 points or something like that in one game.
That was in the regular season.
Toronto?
I think it was one game.
Am I tripping?
That was in. He had like some games. He had a couple bad games that series, but nothing like that. That was in the regular season. He had like 0 points.
No, you're right.
I remember.
Okay, I'm tripping. Yeah. But
Jokic stepping up to the plate right now. I think he got like 12 in the first quarter. They're down 4 though.
But Embiid had the shot of the playoffs so far. Like that play. Like, first of all, that whole lead up, that sequence, because we and you talked about it, we were like, what happened? Like,
what is he
remember the
doing?
previous play? Like, he caught it at 3-point line. He was standing there stationary, got stripped. They got fortunate to get the ball back, and they had another opportunity. And the clock, like, I remember, like, Doc Rivers probably had the best coaching sequence of the season that he's had, because he's been very questionable during the regular season. I gotta give him props. He has not been playing DeAndre Jordan. He has been playing. He's been playing Paul Reed, and Paul Reed has been giving them decent minutes. Like, he's much more active. He moves his feet. He tries. He fouls a little bit too much, but significantly better than DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
But he called that timeout with like 0.9 seconds left on the clock. Drew up a play. Like, it wasn't just like, like they just threw it to Embiid. No, he actually drew up a play. They set a screen for him. Had Embiid like curl out, like, to the 3-point line. He caught it, turned around, and he was wide open. I don't know what kind of defense they were trying to do with the Raptors.
Yeah, I rewatched that play a few times, and I was watching actually JJ Redick's podcast, and he pointed out what I saw as well, which was Gary Trent Jr. He wasn't guarding anybody. Like the play happened. Tobias screened Precious Achiuwa, I believe. That was on Embiid. That freed Embiid up to catch the ball. Gary Trent Jr. wasn't guarding. He was like no man's land.
Him and Precious got a late closeout, but it was like
Yeah, but Precious Achiuwa was screened. Gary Trent Jr. was the man that's supposed to switch out to Embiid. Gary Trent Jr. I guess he was watching the other action, but which he should have been paying attention to JoJo. And Fred VanVleet,
it almost seemed like they didn't think that he was gonna get the ball for some reason, which was just like
Fred VanVleet was by the rim trying to like protect like a potential lob, and he ran out to Embiid, but Gary Trent Jr. should have been there. And Joel Embiid just shot off. I mean, he probably was shot off with Gary Trent Jr. too, but there's 2 bodies there, and they both Gary Trent Jr. at the very least would have had a contest, so he could have made the shot still, but it would have been more difficult than what he had. He splashed it. And that dude was turned up.
He was going crazy. He was like,
he was talking to Drake.
Yeah. Drake's face had me dead. Like when he hit that shot, he was sitting there like sulking on the
You think
sideline.
they finish it in Toronto or they finish it in Philly?
I think it's over. I think they finish it because I feel like if you watch that first half, because Joel stepped up big in the second half, but he was terrible in the first half. That was one of the worst first halves I've seen him play this season. He had like 4 or 5 turnovers, I think, in the first half. Mm-hmm. He was just like throwing the ball away. He was struggling. Like when they were double teaming, he was throwing it like over dudes' heads, launching out of bounds.
Yeah,
he was just like he was moving too fast. Like he was playing like KD right now.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get
that's
into
how he
that.
was. But then like in that second half, like he just settled down. Harden did a good job of like getting him some easy buckets. I remember in that third quarter, because I remember there was a couple plays where like Harden like got into lane and he just like gave him like a lob and like an easy little finish, and then he started to like get his little post mid range game going. Because I feel like one of the things he does is sometimes he'll get impatient, he'll get in the post, and he'll just try and like just out physical dudes immediately. And then like when they send that late double team, mm-hmm. he'll sometimes. I feel like that's his biggest weakness. Like that's like really like Joel's only weakness to me is passing out of double teams. Right, that's probably the one area that he needs to improve. But yeah, like he did a much better job in the second half, and they pulled it out. And they were like, I think they had 22, 23 turnovers in that game, and so the Raptors got
like 24.
They had. Yeah, the Raptors got exactly what they needed because the way to beat the Philly is to get them into a bunch of turnovers and then hurt them in transition because they're not a good transition defensive team. And then that's what they had going for them, and they lost that game. I don't know if they're going to get that game again in Game 4. That was a golden opportunity for them, and so we'll see. But that's also like a deflating way to lose too because it's an overtime. Harden's fouled out, and then Embiid hits like the signature shot of his career right now. Cause I mean, that's the signature shot of his career right now.
Yeah. It
might change, but that's what it is. Like everyone's going to remember that shot until we'll see what happens going forward for him. But, so yeah, that's, I think this is going to be a sweep now.
Yeah. That was their best chance. Regardless of it, make it interesting.
Regardless if they get Game 4, it's over anyway. This is like, it ain't happening. Yeah. Nobody come back from 3-0. So, but no, that's definitely like, neither one of us had this series being this short like this, but yeah, the Scotty Barnes thing did affect them, like for sure. Like that was he has played well for them this year, but I don't know if that would have mattered really in the series. It maybe would have helped them get a game, but they really just haven't looked good for most of the series. Even when the Philly was playing so bad, the Raptors just never really like took advantage of it. They had like a little bit of lead, but like the Raptors, like Philly was just hanging around. It just seemed like they were going to eventually just take that lead back, and they did. But,
you think that has to do more with just like them not being able to deal with Philly's personnel and the Scotty Barnes injury, or is that on Nick Nurse?
I mean, I think that part of it's the personnel. Like they don't have anybody to match up with Embiid.
Yeah, they have a lot of
Yeah, they have a lot of guys that are long, but nobody that's a legit big. They all just get punished down there, and Nick Nurse is complaining about fouls like crazy this series. But like literally, your dudes cannot even come close to matching him. I mean, they're just like hacking him constantly. Like they could call more fouls than they do. Like they do let some go. But yeah, it's just like this is a terrible matchup when it comes to Embiid, and they don't have anybody that they can go to in the half court. They've been going to Siakam, and he looked silly at some points in this last game. Like he was trying to go off the dribble.
He has one move,
and he was trying to go off the dribble, and then you can see like Embiid picked him up in some of those possessions in the fourth, and he just ran out of ideas of what he wanted to do, and he just gave the ball up. Like the shot clock was winding down, he just threw it to somebody else. He threw it to like Van Fleet, and then Van Fleet had to try to figure out something.
Okay, so the next series we're going to get into is the Bulls and the Bucks series. And
that was a really good game last night.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that was a really good game. And most people want to point to the way DeMar DeRozan played in that game, which he was just fantastic, a freaking monster, mid-range killer. You can kill a
Probably
mid-range in the playoffs.
That's probably the best playoff performance he's ever had.
No,
It is.
Not probably.
It is 100%.
Not probably. That is the best because he always like kind of underperforms in the playoffs. And the
he's
first
had some
game,
good playoff games though before. Like I remember like some, but not.
Yeah, but like as like a as a total playoff performer, he's underperformed to what his standard should be.
What made that one so impressive? I saw a stat. I don't know if you saw this. Like when Giannis was guarding him in that game last night, he was 8 for 9 on Giannis. And the one that he missed was that one shot. Yeah.
And I was like,
that one shot that he missed was the one that Giannis blocked him. Giannis had like a crazy block. Like he did like a little fadeaway, and Giannis was able to block it. That was the only shot he missed on Giannis, like the one that he blocked. Every other shot that he put up went in.
Yeah. And man, he just killed them. Especially like when, for whatever reason, the Bulls went small ball and Giannis just killing them. And Middleton was just going crazy.
Doing his
like
truck
5
stick
threes. Yeah. And he like kind of settled it down in the third quarter and the start of the fourth. Him and Vucevic put them back up double digits.
He stepped up. Yeah, he had some big threes.
Huge. And I think like the whole problem with them the entire season was when they played against good teams, good contending teams, the stars rarely show up. And in game one, they gave themselves a chance to win the game by playing great physical playoff defense. Alex Caruso was key. Pat Williams was key. Kobe White hit a few shots. And when they had the lead in game one, but Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, they all stunk it up. And they had a chance to win that game. And this next game, DeMar DeRozan was great. Zach LaVine
played well.
He only had 20 points, but he was extremely efficient with it. And Vucevic was efficient as well, 24 points. I think he had like 12 boards. He was just everywhere.
What was most impressive to me about that game though as well is they had that moment where like it looked like they were about to just blow the game. Like they were making silly turnovers.
Yep.
Like unforced errors, just not and taking quick shots down the stretch. I hate when teams are like when you're up and you taking quick shots and like the clock is on your side. You don't even it's not even like they were taking like
No, go ahead.
But that was like they were just like making some like bad fouls, quick shots, and unforced turnovers. And it was like, oh snap, here we go. They about to blow this. Giannis is about to Giannis about to go on a crazy run. And then right when they needed to, they answered. And it was their role players that answered too. Like Alex Caruso hit some big threes in the corner. He missed a couple too that I was like that was kind of when it was dicey.
The one he rushed.
Yeah, and then he made up for it on the other end.
He was, man,
had a big rebound, tip out. Also, Tristan Thompson had a big rebound.
I miss Alex Caruso. Man, he's one of my favorite players. He plays so hard. His basketball IQ is crazy high. His defensive IQ is just.
He had some nice defensive plays on Giannis in that game. That really.
He had that charge at the end. He was getting.
But even before that, I remember there was a couple plays where Giannis was trying to go at him, and he got him kind of trapped under the basket. He kind of cut him off, and he made him have to pass it from under the basket.
And even when Giannis has it at the top of the key, he want to drive on you. Caruso was sliding his feet and made Giannis pass out of it. Before Middleton got hurt, which makes the series interesting as well.
Is it is it? Do you see what it was? The injury? I didn't even.
It said a sprained MCL.
Wait, for real?
Yep.
I'm not
and they said he's going to be out 3 to 4 weeks.
Oh, he's out for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
I did not. I missed that. What? Hold up. Nah, that's a huge game changer. If the Bulls they have a legit shot potentially.
That's crazy, man. Another thing that makes this series interesting. I was going in because just how the Bulls have played against elite teams all season. They haven't won really, and I was like, man, I know y'all gonna lose. Just don't get swept. And dang, Wiggins. But they played great in these first two games, defensively at least. They gave themselves a chance to win game one. And now
I
without
actually
Middleton,
thought like
yeah, I'm just saying now without Middleton, they have like a real chance to try to sneak the series. Now,
they got
I'm
home
not
court
gonna go
advantage now.
as far as I did with the Pelicans series. When I picked up the Pelicans, I'm gonna, even though I want the Bulls to win, I'm still gonna stay with Milwaukee. I just feel like they have who I think right now is the best player in the league, clearly the best player in this series, and they can, they can build a game plan to work around the Middleton injury, and who knows, is DeMar DeRozan going to continue to play this great in the playoffs? He's been great all season. This probably been his best season. No, this for sure has been his best season in his career.
Yeah.
And can I rely on DeMar to play just great in the playoffs?
I don't think we're gonna see another performance like that at DeMar in this series, but he can still have some big games. I think though that they're gonna have a ton of confidence. They're going back to Chicago. Chris Middleton, that's a huge loss. I mean, Chris Middleton's he has series where he'll like kind of be off, like he'll kind of disappear for a couple games.
But he started to turn up
yeah.
in that second
Big time.
half. Huge.
And now they're gonna
like
have
18
to,
points.
have to get a.
And then
they're gonna need somebody to pick up his production, and I mean,
they're probably gonna start
like
who they start right now? They start Holiday, Middleton, Giannis, Lopez, and who's the fifth guy? Not sure about. I feel like Pat Connaughton is going to play a lot more minutes now.
He's definitely going to play more
because he's probably like the or Wes Matthews. I think Wes Matthews is a starter, but he's probably like the best other two-way guy.
Yeah.
Besides Holiday and Middleton. So
they're gonna need Holiday to actually step up more. Because
for sure. Holiday.
I don't know. Like I think that's I thought I had it before the I picked Milwaukee in 5.
Same.
Yeah. I still feel like probably Milwaukee in 6 now. But This is gonna be interesting because if they win that game, if the Bulls come out and win Game 3, I really want to see how Giannis is gonna perform in this next game because
the
only thing it's gonna be a lot on him.
With the Bulls, they still lack interior size, so Giannis he's gonna go to work. Now with having Caruso and Patrick Williams back, I don't think Giannis played against Patrick Williams all season because he was hurt mainly from the beginning of the season. Then he came back. Patrick Williams has helped them a lot defensively deal with like the physicality of Giannis. They didn't have Tristan Thompson a lot of times when they played against the Bucks. I think they had him one of the times when they played at the end of the season, but he's been helping like block shots, get rebounds. But Giannis, he's still gonna go to work. But having Caruso, Pat Williams, Tristan Thompson, they can be physical and make Giannis. They can possibly try to build a wall some type of way, and not having that guy like Middleton who not only just a shot creator and a shot maker, he's kind of like a secondary playmaker in a way too, and somebody who can run like a pick and roll.
He hits a lot of timely shots for the Bucks. Like that's just
definitely just like he did in the finals.
And so that's somebody that I don't know if that's a huge deal. Like these series right now, you got Luka out, you got Booker out, you got Middleton out now.
Going on. I mean, you can look on the other side. I mean, the Bulls, they don't have a key piece. I think.
Lonzo.
Man, Lonzo's supposed to be playing right now, man. But at least I got AC to watch the playoffs. That's one of my favorite players. Watching him hoop is just a joy. So that's another series who had an injury, but that makes it interesting. It's a part of the game. I mean, sometimes you wish it couldn't happen, but it's inevitable.
Just imagine if the Bulls beat the Bucks, and if it's looking like Dallas is going to beat the Jazz. I mean, at least tonight, and then and the Pelicans beat the Suns.
Ooh, nobody.
The talk is going. There's going to be so much.
Everybody playoff bracket broken. For sure.
Right now, low key, honestly, and you probably know I'm going to say this, but we're going to talk the other series. Things are breaking very, very nicely for the Warriors right now and the Sixers right now. Things are looking very nicely for them because the Sixers, like the Bucks without Middleton for multiple weeks, right?
Whoa. The Warriors, yeah, but the Sixers will have to play Miami next.
Yeah, they have to play Miami, but still,
if Miami, end up winning.
Yeah, but like as far as like from an injury standpoint goes, like to me, I feel like, and now we're gonna see when that series comes around because it's probably gonna be the second round series. I feel like the bigger matchup problem for the Sixers is the Bucks, and so if like the Bucks do stumble against the Bulls, but we're gonna see though. But yeah, just like the Suns without Devin Booker, if they like, it's just like I don't know. And the way that like the way these series are playing out, like the Sixers, if they win the next game, they're gonna have a decent amount of rest before like that second round series. They're gonna be coming in there at least like you would think pretty fresh if they take care of the Raptors, and all these other teams are like looking banged up. I don't know. We're gonna see. But yeah.
So the Bulls and Bucks series is another interesting series.
I hope that goes 7. Honestly, I want to go 7.
But forget all these other series. They cool, interesting.
This is the one that
this series has been the series I've been waiting for ever since I found out the Nets could get like the 7th seed and Boston was going to be the 2.
And so we never really got to talk about this series once it got set. So I will just tell you what my pick was before a game was played. I had the Nets winning. And the reason why I had, and I'm gonna tell you, I had the Nets winning in 7. I had Nets in 7, and it was because Rob Williams
in my brain.
But yeah, that Rob Williams loss, I thought it was going to be a lot more impactful. I still think it's going to have an effect, but I thought it was going to, be more of a problem than it has been so far in this series. I just couldn't imagine that KD was going to put up 2 of the worst games of his life back to back, and so like it's going to be very interesting what happens in this game 3. I feel like if I'm a betting man, you got to put, like, if you're putting money on this, like, I feel like it's got to be like a surefire thing. Like, KD's going to go crazy and the Nets are going to win this game 3. But
he
if they go down 3-0.
He messed up my parlay yesterday. Middleton getting injured and him stinking it up messed up my parlay yesterday. Like, I would have been a lucky man. And Middleton got hurt.
I don't know what it is. I still feel like this. I mean, I feel very, very confident that Brooklyn's going to win game 3. Like, I couldn't feel any more confident about any other series, like any other game coming up. But if they lose game 3, oh my goodness. Oh, the talk is going to be KD's going to get roasted so bad. Like, he's already getting it. He's hearing it right now. He goes down 3-0. And if he doesn't play, like, if he doesn't like go off, like, let's say like if he has another like subpar game, and it could just be like a slightly below average game. He might shoot like 12 for 26 or something like that, which is like not bad. But if he just has a game like that and they lose,
I think he has to like
he has to go crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't just have to. They don't just have to win. He has to like show that he can handle like the pressure that they put on him, because like the main reason I picked Brooklyn to win this series is because of KD. Like I believe Boston has the better team. Even though like Kyrie is great, but I feel like Boston as a collective, they play they trust each other. Like they struggled earlier this year, but they had a breakthrough, and they trust each other so much. And Brooklyn, they kind of been moving pieces all season because of the James Harden thing. They said they're bringing Ben Simmons back for Game 4, so we'll see how that plays out. But Boston, like the best defense in the league. They have continuity. They have trust. They have their 2 stars. But I just feel like KD, he's gonna shine through, and gonna be key for them to win this series in 7. I picked Brooklyn in 7 as well. I still think they have a chance. I'm not rolling them out. It's only been 2 games, 2 road games at that, and I still got belief. I can't bet against an all-time great at least. And
one of the things that people have been saying as well. You can go ahead.
I'm nervous though, because this next game is a must-win. Like they lose this game, it's over.
It's wraps. Mm-hmm.
It's wraps, and I just feel like watching KD, him dealing with. I think it's a number of things. The style of defense that the Celtics are playing against him, and it's important like to have the personnel to play that type of defense, because anytime we've seen KD struggle in the regular season or in the playoffs in the past, it's been a team that had like big wings and they play great collective defense against him. And like I seen that early in his career. I seen that when he went against Golden State, they had, that's when they had Harrison Barnes, Draymond Green, and Andre Iguodala. They had like some, wings who forced him into, doing some stuff.
What they've been doing really good is like they haven't just been contesting a lot of his shots, but they've been blitzing him whenever the ball's in the air, whenever the ball's in the air going to him.
Yeah,
and that other man is blitzing. Like they're coming. When the ball's in the air, they coming to KD, and they immediately trying to basically get him off his spot.
And
he's been rushing. He's been speeding up and going way too fast. You peeping like how he's shooting the ball. He's shooting his release faster than his normal shot speed. Like this man forgot he reddened his release. He forgot his shot time.
He's holding it too long.
You see
he held the square too long. And
I'm like, I ain't seen KD do that like in a long time. Like him, like basically, like his release is not on time at all. It's like what, which is something else.
I give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown a lot of credit, a little bit to Grant Williams as well. Well, the whole Celtics as a whole, they've been defending him well, the team, but mainly Tatum and Brown. But other times he's been like extremely careless with the ball too. Like
he getting stripped or just losing the ball. Mm-hmm.
Like it's.
But another thing that has to be mentioned about that is KD normally for like most of these playoff runs in his career, he's never had to really handle the ball. I mean, he's a good ball handler. Let's not get it twisted. Like he's a good ball handler, but he's never had to handle the ball to this degree, right? And you think about like he's usually had like other playmakers and he could play more off ball. And he can like run around and just catch. He can just catch and go into a shot, or run or do his little little mid post catch turnaround shot that he likes to do. Mm-hmm. They've been getting him. He's been just getting the ball going ISO. That's something that he's susceptible to turning the ball over in those situations. I remember him doing that and go like whenever they did have issues in Golden State, and he would turn the ball over sometimes in isolation situations when they would get too heavy into the ISO sometimes. But yeah, like that's probably the only thing that's like just like really weird as far as like watching his performance. It's like, he's been careless. He's been getting stripped. I remember Jalen had like a couple big strips on him.
Like game 1, he shot terrible. And
Like
they
9
played
for,
great
like,
defense on him
24 or
again,
something.
but they had a chance to win because of how crazy Kyrie played.
Kyrie.
He was like ridiculous.
And the thing is,
he
they
dropped,
wasted a great Kyrie game. That's probably like Kyrie's probably not gonna have a game that good the rest of the series. Like he was ridiculous in that game.
yeah, like
And-
yesterday, I took his under. I knew I was like, nah, like Boston, they're not gonna allow him to. His points was at like 29. I'm like, no, he's not doing that again. But I took
after
KD
he had that
over.
first game,
I'm like, yeah. I mean, KD, this is KD. He's able to have a bad game in game one. I'm like, I wasn't tripping on it. But yesterday,
and Kyrie,
yesterday
for 10.
he looked even worse than game one. Even though he had more points, he looked worse
free throws,
because he didn't make a shot in the second half.
0 for 10 in the second half.
Like there was a list of guys who went didn't make a field goal in the second half. It was he was on
Harden
there.
was on there.
Harden was on there. Yeah, it was Embiid.
Yeah,
It was Michael Finley. Guys like that. And I'm like,
Michael Finley. Damn,
yeah,
that's a flashback.
But I was like, man, I was shocked. I was like, who is this
And
guy?
low key, Kyrie kind of he kind of got off because if KD wasn't so bad back to back games, people be talking about Kyrie. He only dropped 10 points in that game because he wasn't good either.
Yeah, he only had 10 points, but at least he made a shot in the second half. He made one.
Yeah. One of the things that I think they messed them up too is they wasted probably the best game you're gonna get out of Bruce Brown. This man, Bruce Brown, was actually balling, and Dragic. Those two dudes were keeping them in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the narratives that
Dragic was good in game one too.
Yeah, but one of the things that like a lot of the talking heads have been saying, like, oh, like both these guys got to play great if they need a chance to win. KD and Kyrie. That's the truth. No, that actually hasn't been true. If KD was just decent, they win game one. They lost by 1 point.
I think, Oh no, I was just gonna say I think it was kind of by design for Bruce Brown to get off because I don't think that's something that's just like sustainable.
Oh no, no way. He's
like
not they was well again.
And I kind of compared it to how teams used to. Well, and they probably still do build a wall against Giannis. It's like we taking everybody but you. Like if your role players get off, they get off, and I guess they trusting that this role player won't beat us with like a star players type usage, And I think like the usage Bruce Brown had and the amount of opportunities, he probably should have had like 30-something points, and he still played a great game, but. They kind of were okay with that if they were able to neutralize KD because they know at the end of the day, that's who gonna beat them. Even in one-on-one coverage, just one-on-one, I would take having Bruce Brown initiate and create offense than having KD just go one-on-one. So it's like, you gotta give something to get something, and it worked out for him. Even though Bruce Brown had a great game, you were able to neutralize the best player on the floor, and it shocked me. Not gonna lie, I was shocked. Now, I'm not gonna take my pick yet, even though I'm a little spooked out. I don't know who that man was.
Yeah.
That was some skinny dude with nappy hair with KD jersey on yesterday. That wasn't KD. Couldn't have been. He's an all-time great.
It sounded funny though. Like, did you hear his post-game press conferences for like both these games, 1 and 2? KD?
I saw the one for game 2 when he was just saying,
it was like
doing
the
a
same.
good job.
It was basically deja vu. Both press conferences were basically the same, but he just seemed like he was so like just like.
But it's a couple things I want to point out. KD, last season when he went against the Bucks, he didn't play many games that season at all, and he came back like at the end of the season. I think Harden was there, and Kyrie was there. They was able to keep them afloat when he was hurt, and he got back healthy, and they went against Boston. They beat Boston in 5. He had Harden and Kyrie with him. They both had like some really good games that series, and they beat Boston in 5. And Boston didn't have Jaylen Brown either.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Al Horford at the time. So this is a completely different Boston team now. And against Milwaukee, he played great, especially in Game 5 when he had that monster game. Probably one of the all-time great playoff games ever. In Game 7, he was even great, even though he didn't do anything in Game 7 because he was kind of gassed. Now, I don't want to make an excuse for him because you all-time great. You got to push through. I think right now we kind of seeing that again. I think he's a little because like he played way more games than he did over the past few seasons. Of course, because of his Achilles injury. And
if you think about it,
at the end of this season, he's been playing like a lot more minutes because they had to, make the playoffs, and they got that 7 seed. He's been playing a lot more minutes. Like in the last 11 games, they say he played over 40 minutes 9 times. And
I think I see what the theory that you're going with is that KD, maybe one of his thing is like when he has a big load, he can't sustain that type of load.
And I just think, I think part of that is him coming off that injury as well, like playing that many minutes with that much responsibility, and I also think that Achilles injury, he doesn't drive the ball as well as he used to. And he doesn't drive as much. And even like going to his left, he doesn't like to drive to his left a lot. I mean, if he get a step on you, you allow him if you fall asleep, then he'll take it. But he's still great. Don't get me wrong, still a freaking beast. But when you have like the type of personnel to expose what kind of he lacks a bit coming off the Achilles injury, and you add on to the fact that he's been having to carry a huge load, that isn't ideal, and I kind of see that.
They don't have
maybe that's
they don't also have a defensive. They don't have a defensive identity really to hang their hat on either. So
yeah, and I think last game was like their best defensive game. Like
they started off really well.
Yeah, they started. They was up 17. And Tatum didn't play well until the end. Jaylen Brown had a big second half, especially in the fourth quarter. But I mean, is Jason Tatum going to shoot that bad again? Is Marcus Smart going to shoot that bad again? Al Horford, he's been pretty good this series. Really good this series, actually. Daniel Tice was really good yesterday as well. So it's dicey. I still believe in KD. I believe in Kyrie as well as a playoff performer. Watching him in the past, he's clutch. He's super skilled, and I know what I can get from him as well. But I'm not gonna come off my pick. I still got Brooklyn at 7. But shout out to the Celtics. I would not be surprised in the slightest. But shout out to the Celtics for making everybody give them that look like, hold on. So this next game, everybody's gonna be. This is probably gonna be the most watched game of the season. Game 3,
absolutely,
in Brooklyn. I think it's gonna be Saturday. KD. All eyes, like all
eyes are gonna be on KD specifically. Yeah,
and this is
he hasn't had a good game yet.
And this is something that I think that he kind of escaped from. That all the greats had to do before they kind of like accomplished something. You feel me? Like, Mike, he eventually had to beat Detroit, and like LeBron had to go into Boston in Game 6, and he had to do it to him.
But KD didn't have to go beat Golden State because he joined.
Yeah, like KD, like you had a chance to beat Golden State, you failed. It happens. Gave a 3-1 lead. It happens. I just feel like he escaped the chance to overcome, something and really like kind of prove himself. Now he went to Golden State, he played great, he won those rings, and props to him for playing the way he did. But this is when it's tough like this, your back against the wall. Let's see what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have like a super team to just kind of back you up. So I want to see how he comes through. I know he's an all-time great. They all have this moment where they have to gotta do it, and I think this can be his moment. Should be his moment. If they able to get out this series, that get them a lot of confidence, and they should have Ben Simmons back. I think for the rest of the playoffs. I don't know.
Which, by the way, I'm still very sus on how that's going to look.
I'm extremely sus too because of the fact that he hasn't played all season. He's coming off an injury, and he's a new player who you gotta build camaraderie and chemistry with. And their problem right now is offense, which the only way Ben Simmons will really help you is maybe like in transition. Or like getting into transition like pretty quickly. And Brooklyn isn't really a transition type team, So we'll see how that works. But I think like the bottom line right now is KD down 2-0, must win coming up. You were trash the last two games. You got to throw it out the window, and you got to show everybody that you KD. Now, if he does that, then like I expect that. I expect that of him. But if he doesn't,
I don't know if yeah.
Then there's going to be a lot of questions about him from about his past, really, and it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to be tuned in. This is the one series I haven't missed a minute of. If I was at work, if I was in the shower, if I was, I don't know. I ain't missed a minute of this one. So can't wait for Saturday.
Saturday, yeah, I'm gonna be free to watch that. So I'm gonna be tuned in for sure.
I'm gonna be at work, but I don't care.
I know you're gonna find a way. I'm gonna watch it. Like I don't care really I care, but like regardless of whatever happens in the series, game 3, KD has to be KD. Like they could lose the series in 6, 5, 7, and that's gonna be bad, whatever. But if he doesn't come through in this game, it's gonna be worse than it doesn't matter. Like like it doesn't matter. Like it's gonna look really bad. Because I know 3 straight games.
I know it's challenging dealing with those type of defenders, the physicality, but
y'all gonna be at home. You're gonna be in Brooklyn, right? Yeah. You're gonna have the role players. I mean, it's a kind of a
role
cliche,
players play better at home.
It is true. It's true. Role players play better at home. Mm-hmm. So maybe you get like Seth Curry's gonna probably maybe have a good shooting night. You might be able to get something else out of Dragic because he's been playing well. I could see Kyrie having an off game again, but I doubt it. He's probably gonna play better. So like, yeah, KD, he doesn't have any excuse. He has to step up when he has the ball. They need to like also like try and get him some shots where he's like not like constantly trying to either go 1-on-1. Like maybe get him moving without the ball a little bit more. That's one thing. A little better.
Yeah, I want to touch on that as well. I think like Steve Nash, he needs to do a better job of getting KD like on the move where he doesn't have to. But I think they tried a bit of that last game, but Boston like they extremely physical, and some of those were called fouls. That's why KD shot a lot of free throws. But other times, those just playoff physicality, and KD wasn't able to fight over that, and he'll run through the lane. They try to set up like a pin down for him, and he'll get bumped, and the guy that's guarding him shove him a little bit. They'll show. And the guy that show will give him like a little little elbow or something like that. All like nothing dirty, but they like very physical and they getting back to their man, but they still showing their hands. And by that time, KD hit a little beat up. So now he got to like dribble and they make it. They made it tough on him, and their game plan is working out. They have probably, I think them, Golden State and maybe Phoenix. They probably have the best like personnel to try to guard him on the perimeter, but mainly like Boston, they probably they can defend at the rim and on the perimeter. It's scary, and I'm nervous for this next game. It's a must win, but when I put my picks in, I'm putting everything on KD. I believe in him this game. Yeah. I don't think he's not gonna come through.
I feel like I feel like he's gonna drop 40. They're gonna win. It's gonna be us.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I thought was gonna happen yesterday. But yesterday, yesterday technically, it wasn't really a must win. But this next game, it's a must win. I think KD, you Kevin Durant. I know who you are. Andrew knows who you are. You Kevin Durant. So
I can't imagine him having KD having 3 games like that in a row. I just can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine.
0 for 10 in the second half. We're gonna see. We're gonna see, man. This playoff's been a lot better than I thought. I knew this Celtics and Nets series was gonna be entertaining. I didn't think this was gonna be the storyline after the first 2 games, and some of the injuries also made it entertaining. I didn't know.
Unpredictable. This playoffs are like very unpredictable right now.
Yeah. So, I'm tuned in every game, watching the Nuggets and
hold up, this Mavericks Jazz game actually got tightened up now.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's a pop-up game with like 5 minutes.
Let me go ahead and cut that one on.
But yeah, I mean, we probably just gonna see the Jazz just choking in crunch time.
Oh yeah, this 7-point game now.
Is Jalen Brunson back, or did he actually? I wonder.
Let me see. Yeah, Brunson back.
Yeah,
27 points.
This man, they're like, damn. Okay, we don't got Luka. Just let Jalen Brunson just play his role.
Jalen Doncic.
Basically, man, like Luka got to be watching this. Like, I can't believe this is my life right now. Luka watching this, like, damn.
He had to struggle against the Clippers the past couple seasons, and
he's like, for real though. Think about it. Imagine him watching this game right now.
Yeah, I feel bad for him because I'm like, bro, now he has to go against a team, and he's not even able to play a team that most people like really picked him to win against, and now he's not able to play. But it's heaven.
He about to get out of the first round, and he just like watch it.
Yeah,
I mean, he gonna play game 4, I believe. So like, we'll see. But
and I think even if they win the game, I think he should play game 4 still to just try to put the nail in the coffin, really, or keep hammering away at it. But this playoffs interesting. Andrew, we gonna
I forgot Tim Hardaway Jr. has been out too. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Tim Hardaway.
Yeah, like 2 of their.
I ain't seen Tim Hardaway in a minute.
Right, he's been out for a while, but that's like that's so embarrassing, man. Oh my goodness.
But man, gonna be on it. So it's
yes, sir.
Interesting to see how this played out. That's a wrap. What this was episode 6.
Yes, sir.
All right. So
playoff recap.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Episode 6. Drew. No, I'm Destin. That's Drew. We out. Peace.
All right.